Hello, I'm Brian Germain, and welcome to Taking on Turbulence. Adventure Wisdom's been creating a lot of videos, and I've realized that one of the most important topics that I needed to go into greater depth on is flying your canopy in turbulence. It's something that scares pretty much everybody, and the fact is that if it doesn't scare you, it's possible that you're not quite understanding the magnitude of the situation. The sky is a powerful place, and you're quite small in comparison to the forces that you're taking on. Parachutes have become very, very good, very, very stable over the years. However, there's limitations to any flight vehicle, and yours is no different. So when we consider the fear factor, if you will, about flying in turbulence, you kind of have to break it down into two main categories. So on one hand, we have the perceived risk. All right, so this is your emotional experience, which may be driven by a very sane reality, but if it's simply a perception that is not valid, it's important to recognize that case, because there's lots of folks that stand down from a jump that would be perfectly okay. Maybe their canopy would bounce around a little bit, but it wouldn't collapse, it wouldn't cause any problems. So you have to learn more about the topic, we all do, so that we can make a better judgment call and sort of separate that perceived risk from actual risk. And so what we're going to look into here is the actual risks and what we can do to reduce those risks, how to sort of isolate those variables and notice them. Maybe you'll be the first one in the drop zone to stand down. And as some wise people have said, the bravest person on the drop zone is the first one to scratch off the load, to take yourself off manifest when you just don't feel right about it. And you validate that feeling with actual appraisal of your physical reality. And so when we take a closer look at this idea of actual risk, we have some variables that are beyond our control, that are just, the sky is bigger than you. When we talk about severe turbulence, it doesn't matter what you're flying, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to get hurt or possibly killed if you fly under those conditions. And some of those variables that are beyond your control are within reasonable limits. It's just you kind of have to swallow it. You have to accept the fact that, for instance, your canopy is going to bounce around and breathe in moderate turbulence. That's just the nature of parachuting. You're not flying a metal vehicle, and even if you were, you would still feel the increase and decrease in G's and the changes to your control inputs and the feeling in your body. And so if you have variables that are beyond your control that are within acceptable limits, then maybe you choose to fly anyway. And then you have variables that are within your control. And of course, your go or no-go is the number one, right? And so we all have to beware of hungry logbook syndrome, where you got to make that jump. Maybe you've been stuck in an office all week long. Maybe you haven't been able to jump for a while for weather reasons, and you're hungry, and you look at the conditions and your perception is skewed based on your hungriness, right? Your desire. You're seeing through these rose-colored glasses that can lead you into bad situations. Some of the variables that are within your control are, once you've actually exited the aircraft, how do you fly and where do you fly? Can change the way your parachute responds to turbulence. There are certain things that you can do to substantially reduce your risks as you're flying any canopy, and certainly some parachutes are more stable than others. We'll get into those distinctions. But the bottom line is that a smart pilot that has learned instincts, right? So learned is the intellectual part, but trained is the physical rehearsal that leads you to have a quick response that is the right response. And it leads you to a greater level of safety, and you can prevent collapses through this sort of behavior. And so we have, where do I fly? That's one of the variables to consider. So for instance, do you land downwind of trees? Right? Most people know that one. We'll get into greater detail on that topic. There's also, where are the thermals lifting off? Where is the cold air sinking? Where are you likely to experience severe turbulence? Then you have the issues of flying behind other vehicles, right? If there's an aircraft sitting on the ramp with its engines running, it's likely to create some pretty severe turbulence, other canopies as well. So, so we have where we fly our parachute that can reduce or increase our risks, depending on how we make our choices, and the behavior patterns of the canopy pilot in those moments when you engage the turbulence really changes it. How you turn your canopy, how you respond to the turbulence, how fast are you flying, all that plays in. So when we see an accident, or we hear of an accident, we read of an accident, usually what's occurred is a series of events where the jumper was increasing their likelihood, and maybe they've been doing these behaviors for a while and they just never crossed paths with a situation that was severe enough to sort of sublimate out this possibility that resulted in the accident, or the scary moment that wasn't actually an accident. I'm a huge fan of near misses, where you scare the heck out of yourself and then you learn a lesson without physical damage, and then you become a better jumper as a result. But one way or another, we have to learn these lessons.
Ride 'em in, cut 'em out, ride 'em in,
Yep. Okay. And remember, you're going to lean your knees out to the side.
Knees to the side.
Ready? One, two, three.
Go.
That was good. Nice job, everybody. Want to try one to the right?
Okay, let's try to the right. Hold on, come on, Matthew. Then we're going to do a go-go Team Germain in the center.
All right,
Okay?
Team Germain.
Okay, everybody line up. Come on, everybody line up. Come on.
Right, come back.
Come back. Get ready. Matthew.
Go over by Joshua.
Go over by Joshua in your end, in the spot.
So we're going to roll.
Just make a little space because you don't want to get him to steamroll you.
Are you ready?
Okay.
Your knees together. Grab your thumbs.
We're going to go that direction.
Away from
Matthew,
the sun.
you ready? Look at Matthew.
Bend your knees.
You ready? You're going to go that way. Look at me.
Away from
Matthew,
the
you're going
sun.
to go that way, okay? Knees this way. Is everybody ready?
Push your knees way out to the side like a banana. Your whole body's a banana.
2, 3, go!
Go! That's awesome.
Go, go, Team Germain!
Yeah, bring it in, Joshua.
Bring it in, Joshua. Go, good, Team G.
Ready.
1, 2, 3, go!
Booyah, man! Let's go to This is how you go to fly now.
That is how you PLF.
Fly so high.